Everything is ridiculously expensive right now. Shopping, fuel, and especially cars.
But here's the thing. We think having a fun car shouldn't cost your life savings. Some cars look temptingly cheap, but cost a fortune to run.
And others are just plain boring.
I've chosen this, a Citroen C2 VTS, and I know it's the best car for the money because I bought one.
And I've chosen one of these, a Ford Sport Car. K-A, sports car.
For £1,000 or less, you can get yourself in a C2 VTS. Mine, back in the day, I don't have it anymore, but it cost me £200. I think these are genuinely brilliant. I think they are the last of the hot French hatches, and no one cares about them, and they are incredibly good.
It's sort of the forgotten one because everyone's thinking of a Saxo VTS
Exactly.
or a VTR or whatever.
And we'll get to it, but that engine, it's Peugeot royalty. Because I have 125 horsepower. You have triple figures, right?
Sure.
Dave, the very kind owner who's lent us the car, has done a couple mods, but overall it's pretty standard. We've got some rally spotlights on the front, some aftermarket ATS wheels,
nice,
custom made intake, which is going to sound incredible because these sounded good standard, and then some upgraded brake pads, and that's it.
Can I ask about your lobe?
This is a Lobe edition, which means it comes with the stickers, and then that's it.
That's it?
That's basically it. There is also a diesel VTS. We don't talk about that one. We're talking about the 1.6 NA 16 valve, 120 horsepower. There it is, the TU5 engine, a legendary engine when it comes to Peugeots and Citroens. We'll get onto that a little bit later. These cars cost nothing to run and are incredibly good fun on roads like these. One other thing, what's the best car on earth? You own it.
A Range Rover.
A Range Rover. Just the little split tailgate. How good is that?
That is interesting.
This is basically a Range Rover for less than £1,000. Shall we see your car?
Let's have a look. This is my luxury Ford Sport Car KA car sport car.
William
KA.
Rooney is in the building.
Mr. Rooney
He is here.
endorsed this automobile as a youth. 1.6.
Yeah?
94 horsepower. But it's not about power. This car isn't about power. This is about chassis and fun.
Speaking of chassis, these tend to rot, don't they?
They do rot quite badly. This one I think is actually okay. I don't know. It's not my car. A very nice man named Chris has lent it to me for the day. He said, you will never drive it as hard as I do. But 41,000 miles? Sorry. It's immaculate.
Do you know what? I'm going to make an admission here. I love these. It looks so cool. When Will pulled up this morning, all of us looked around and went, oh, that's really cool, actually. These are a forgotten piece of fast Ford.
Some Americans and maybe even some Europeans will go, why are you all dribbling over this ladybug that you have brought along? But this, for the money, you can get these for £1,000.
They're quite solid in that condition, aren't they?
They are quite solid in that condition, but you can definitely buy one for £1,000, sometimes less, but because it's Ford in the UK.
Price is up. Off we go. Can you pop the hood?
Hold on, L. Oh, we're just finding something right now. We're just finding it. We're just going to get on our knees in front of the Ford KA. Sorry, what the hell? There's a divot, but no thing. Can you get your fingers in there and figure that out?
There we go.
There we go, you can cut all that out. This is 1.6 Duratec. They had it in lots of other Focuses and whatever else. This is the bad point really about this car. It's not a bad engine, it's just not that exciting.
To be fair, a normal KA had what, 50, 60 horsepower?
These are like, 59 horsepower or something. This has got 94 horsepower. But there are a bunch of other changes on this that we'll get to on the drive. But these aren't about power and outright speed. They're about much, much more than that.
Well, there's a quick walk around. Shall we go out and try them out?
I say Citroen first.
Citroen first, I like that. Now this is a Lobe edition. It's the rare special edition. You can get them in this colour black, which is what mine was, or you can get the red, which is the more popular one. You can get this engine, which is the whole reason we're here today. That's the only bit that matters. You can get those in a normal C2 VTS, or you can get a code, which usually come in this like dark grey colour with a caramel colour interior. They're like the luxury version, but they gave them this engine. Would you like some?
Let's have some.
We'll go to third.
It's got some pep.
It's got some pep, and not only that, the piece of resistance for a car under £1,000. I'm gonna go into second, Will. Tell me about my revs.
That was a limiter, what,
7,250 revs in a sub £1,000 car. You tell me where you're getting that these days. A fruity little engine that revs to over 7k, and that is because this engine is called the TU5 JP4. The technical term. If you're into French cars, you'll know that that is the same engine that they fitted to the 106 Rally, the 106 GTI, and the Citroen C2 VTS. This is French car royalty engine, and yet it is in a car that no one cares about, that is under £1,000 and you can find freely.
These are a hidden gem. The video came out last week. We were in two 700 horsepower American muscle cars. We've gone for the palate cleanser this week.
Yeah,
On these roads, in the other cars we're in, 700 horsepower muscle cars, we're getting to the speed limit instantly. But in this, you've got some revs to go.
This engine, obviously that is the special part of it. With some cams and some mad remaps, bro, you can go to 8,000 RPM. Some people are building race engines of these that go to 9.
That's ridiculous.
9,000 RPM from a little engine like this is so good. But because of that, these C2s tend to get just bought and used for their engines. They get their engines taken out and the cars thrown away. So they're getting more and more rare. They're not by any means rare. Some of you are probably on Facebook Marketplace already looking at these, and you'll see that there's a good amount out there. But I don't know that they'll be around that long for this price.
People using the track cars, rally cars, beating them around, and then they'll eventually just die out.
The other thing to note is that we're not very light. We're not very light men. If you were perhaps a more proportionately sized person by yourself in this would feel even more quick.
Perhaps a small French man.
A small French man would be going
flying
sub 8 minute another drink with this. Right, that's enough fun in this. Should we go and try the diddy little sport KA?
Let me show you my KA car.
Sport
KA.
K car.
My KA car.
So with the C2 driven, we got the mighty KA car out on the road.
Right, we're out in the Sport KA.
Sport car. What is it?
Now, as far as I'm aware, it's sport car. Everyone finds that awkward because it's the word car. This is my Ford car.
That's my car. Already, this feels a lot lighter than the Citroen. This feels more nimble, and the Citroen feels very nice and nimble. Can we get a big downshift and an acceleration? I'll tell you what though,
Still going.
that is still a good engine.
It's a revvy engine, and that's it has about £100 for like 94 horsepower, so it's quite torquey.
Yeah.
But again, you have to rev the living daylights out of it to make any progress.
Also, if you grew up in 2000s England, you've been in the back of a Ford KA getting absolutely hared around roundabouts, and this is the top one. This is the best car.
This is top of the range. So this has these like split two-tone leather seats. I've got air conditioning. I've also got a heated windscreen. Inside is actually where I hate these cars the most. The design of the inside is not very nice, but the outside and the way it drives, that is where this car excels. But this isn't just a Ford KA with a body kit and a slightly bigger engine. They lowered it, widened the track, there's stiffer anti-roll bar, stiffer springs, different dampers. The rear torsion beam I think is ever so slightly different, or a little bit stiffer. The standard KA is like is an eco car.
It's a nan car.
It's your nan's car that is just designed to go down the shop. Whereas this, you can also get up an M3's arse on a B road. Here we go, downhill.
Here we go.
Now it's fast.
Oh, this is quick.
Little rev limiter.
The other thing to note, Citroen is a little bit modified. This is completely standard.
Completely standard.
Nothing.
There's some spacers, but that's it. This car is completely standard, engine, exhaust, everything. 50.
And now we're at the speed limit.
Now we're at the speed limit. I only just reached Bend getting to the speed limit.
That is the beauty. You will never get in trouble in these cars.
And also, this car is currently on, I think, about 3 different brands of tyre.
Nice.
And there'll be people who say, oh, the first thing you should do is put some sticky tyres on. Yeah, for outright grip and lap times, true. But just some average tyres on a car like this is all you want. You want a tiny bit of slip. You want the rear end to just go anywhere you like, really.
That is more fun than just going around a corner nicely. I reckon, should we get both of them out?
Let's take them both out.
Let's have a proper blast in both.
Now, this is a car you can get for less than £1,000, and you'll see that on an upcoming series. So here is a quick reminder that if you are ever buying a used car, you should always use today's sponsor, Car Vertical.
That's right, because every single day, hundreds of cars get crashed, but some of them get repaired and put back on the road in an attempt to hide their shady past. With a Car Vertical check, you can find out that dodgy history.
Another teaser for you. This is a car that is coming to the channel very, very soon. And as you can see, we don't have a number plate, and that's fine, because a Car Vertical report, you can either use the number plate or you can just use the car's VIN. And then the report will tell you if that car has been crashed, stolen or clocked.
Now, I found the number plate for my old Citroen C2 VTS, so we ran a car vertical on it, and thankfully it has got green ticks for mileage, finance, and damage. But it does have 7 owners, one of which would have been me.
A friend of ours sent us a message when they were going to buy a new car and said, can you run a car vertical report? And if we tap on mileage, we can see that the mileage dropped at some point and then started to go back up. There might be an explanation for that, but it looks a little bit shady and has probably been rolled back so they can sell it for a higher price. Now, with a car vertical report, you can find out all of this shady past.
Firstly, we can't recommend enough £2,000 hatchbacks, but also you should run a car vertical check to make sure that the price you pay for them matches their history.
Plus, as an added bonus, Car Vertical are offering you guys 20% off when you use our code TDC. Now back to the hatchbacks.
Now we'd been out in both cars, we got them out onto the road together for the first time. I think it's a genuine shame that these C2 VTSs are completely outshadowed by the Saxos, by the 106s, because they're just as good. Yes, I know that they don't have the 90s boxy cool look, and that, yes, they weren't really part of max power. These cars were finished by that time. Modifying them wasn't as big of a thing. But to drive, they are just as good. They are so underrated and they fly under the radar so often. I see these cars driving around all the time with just normal people driving them, but I think more car people need to get in on it.
This is the first generation of KA, and I think it's the only one that matters. The second gen was basically the same platform as the new version of the Fiat 500, but they never made a cool version. Well, we got an Abarth 500, you never really got a proper sporty version of that. My girlfriend had one of those. I really didn't like it. Didn't like it at all. Plus, all of the Italian bits weren't so reliable. These are reliable. And then the most recent ones, it's a Car Plus or something. It's not the same in any way, shape or form. These cars were being made in other countries up until a few years ago, basically. That's how good they are.
At that moment, I had something a little unfortunate to admit about these little old Citroens. The Citroen C2 VTS had a thing called a BSI, and what it's in charge of is everything. The ignition, the recognising the key, using the wipers, doing the indicator stalk, and what it likes to do is completely fail and then brick your car and stop it from doing anything. There's a few different things that cause the BSI to fail. One of them is water, which just gets in because it's French and goes onto the fuse box and fries it. One of them is the battery getting low. It can corrupt the BSI information. If you jump start it and put too much voltage through it, it will fry the BSI and you'll never be able to start it. And then finally, which is my favourite one, it just sometimes gets software bugs, which can completely corrupt it with no ability to fix it ever again. And that's what happened to mine. I got it for nearly nothing because it was having BSI issues, and then 2 months later, it refused to ever start again. And I believe it went off to scrap.
It all sounds quite French to me, that the little electronic bugs is big Frenchisms. I have to say, again, my engine not as cool as yours, but it is a very reliable engine. It's a timing chain, which on TDC is a touchy subject, but it's a very good timing chain that I've not really ever seen anyone need to change, and there's not actually any other issues. It just rusts from the inside out. That's the only real one.
I was going to say, mechanically, your car's great. It just kind of starts disappearing around the good bits. The mechanical bits stay and everything else leaves.
Now, I do actually have a little bit of history with a Ford car. Back on a channel I used to work for, Overdrive, we bought a low mileage, 1.3 litre, 60 horsepower Ford car. We drag raced it, blasted it around a track, took it to a track day, took it to a rally course, took it off-road on a proper green lane, and also that car did hundreds and hundreds of handbrake turns. These cars are the king of the handbrake turn, and still, nothing ever went wrong with it. It just kept on going. The only thing that car ever needed was a clutch. The underside got scraped, the bodywork got scraped, the engine got absolutely hammered, the handbrake got absolutely hammered, and it didn't bat an eyelid. These are unbreakable cars. If you break one of these cars, you are a stronger man than I. These have really got a solid place in my heart, these cars. Might not be that interesting, but get yourself in one, standard or one of these, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Will, I did a bit of research last night and I had a look at things that cost more than these cars.
Reel them off, tell me.
Painted wing mirrors for a GT3 RS, the wheel bolts for a Ferrari 296, those are €1,000. A set of centre caps for a Lamborghini Revuelto, just one, costs £360.
For one?
A spare wheel for a brand new Range Rover, that's £1,000. a flat in London, a tiny little studio flat, just 1 month. That's the entire cost of these cars.
And as the old adage says, you cannot race a £1,000 flat in London.
An e-bike, the cheapest ones of those, £999. And then finally on my list, I've just got dog. It's £1,200 for a dog.
And I think these last a bit longer than a dog as well.
Entirely true.
We were absolutely loving these two budget hatchbacks, so we pulled over for a little discussion about whose car was better.
My car is better. I was worried about your car because you have a cool engine.
And it has more power, and it's quicker, and it has better induction.
But that's not the point.
And it has better.
That's not the point. How much power does your car have?
125.
Mine has 94.
Okay, so I win. It was 0 to 60.
We're barely scraping under 10 seconds at 9.7.
8.
Do you know what your top speed is?
No, I don't.
Mine is 108.
108? Do you know what?
I actually thought it would be much faster than
That's
that.
interesting. I don't
That's
actually know.
not very much.
I don't know what mine
And I
is.
also, having driven it today, it would take a while.
Did you get close to that or no?
No, I didn't.
You need a 200-mile-an-hour road to do 108.
The cost of your car?
Brand new, this car was £13,595.
£10,000. But with the SE package, he was $10,999. It was £1,000. So it was 11 grand car, which I think in today's money is like 17 to 19 grand.
2 grand less? Crazy. But now they're the same money.
Genuinely, as an investment, this is better than that.
Yeah, you're.
These
you're
will
true.
probably rust into oblivion.
Yeah, and Ford people will go, oh, back in my day, those sport KAs, oh, better than a pension.
There is a slight admission to make on these. I have been looking at these to buy. They're harder to find for £1,000.
A C2 code I was going to buy for £795. There was a normal VTS that popped up for £650. Easy dub.
There just aren't any of these as well. You search, you might find 5, and it'll be a man named Greg, and he's got 30,000 miles on it. He's had it since new, and he will ask for 8 grand. And then you will get a man in High Wycombe who handbrake turns it down hills, and he still wants £1,500. But I do believe I have seen them for £1 grand and less. There's a lot of them breaking because of the rust. I did an insurance quote on this. What I did was I did a 19-year-old me living in Slough or somewhere like
tough.
that.
That's a tough one.
I've been driving for 2 years. I haven't had any crashes. £900.
Now, I didn't do the same thing, but I asked Dave behind the camera what he spent. When he was 20, he insured this for £400.
That's ridiculously cheap.
That's really good.
Tax. Yours is cheaper. 265.
265?
This is £345.
300? What?
I have got a heated windscreen.
I don't.
I've got aircon. I've got electric windows.
I do.
I paid £50 to fill it up earlier.
Fully, to the brim.
Fully to the brim. And I reckon it does about 36 to 38.
They claim that these do 40 mpg. Realistically, mine I did like 36 or 37.
And also, if you're beating the hell out of it, is it less?
Probably, yeah, it's a good bit less.
But still, they're going to be doing 30 plus, even with beating their heads in. So
At 70 on the motorway, it does sit at like 3,500 RPM. What does yours weigh?
Mine weighs 943 kilos. This is a sub-ton automobile.
Yeah, that's mine's quite fat in comparison. It's 1050.
100 kilos.
It's 100 kilos more.
This, I now want one.
I would want one
I now
again.
want one.
I want this back again.
I want this. I don't want that.
Shall we do one final drive?
One final drive.
Because I want to drive it again.
I want to drive it again.
I always really regretted selling my C2 VTS. It was just too far gone for me to do any work to, and I didn't have enough expertise in wiring to make it work. If I had have, I think I would have probably ended up doing a lot of mods to this and making it a properly fun little car. And yes, there are lots of other French hot hatches that will do the job just as well. This is the mildest hot hatch that they do, but the prices of Twingos and Clios are already climbing up and up and up. You can't get one for £1,000 anymore, and if you do, it is full of rust and needs a lot of work. Whereas these cars, with their cool little digital dashboard and their silly high revving engines, they're still sub £1,000. And that is a ridiculously good deal.
Oh man, genuinely, £1,000, even maybe £1,500. I know I'm skewing the budget a little bit here, but £1,500, you will find one of these and you need to buy one. You need to own one, even if it's only for a few months. Just give it a go. Take it to track days, take it on B roads, take it out with your mates. It is cost effective, fun motoring, and you can use your car like this and you don't even have to break the law. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, make sure you subscribe. And if you want to see a complete opposite of this, where we drove 700 horsepower American cars, you can see that here. And we'll see you next week.